This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails. Garner great pet tips and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Our special guest today gives a heartwarming new meaning to that phrase, working like a dog. Now, as you're about to discover, she and her sweet retriever named Riley are working hard to bring joy to the lives of many. It is my pleasure to welcome to our show the author of a must-get book. It's called Riley, the Retriever Wants a New Job. Please welcome to our show, Jill Weisfeld, and probably Riley. Hey, Jill, welcome to the show.
Hi, Arden. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
All right, guys. Now, listeners, what job will Riley the Retriever land? You're going to find that out after we take this commercial break, so you know the drill. Sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a pause. 4 furry ones, actually. Sit and stay. Oh Behave will be right back.
Hey, it's me again. Yep, Arden Moore, host of the Oh Behave show, doing this commercial. You know what I love? I love my cats. I love pet safety cat Casey. I love my sweet Mikey. And I love one-eyed Morty. Each one has their unique personality. Casey's a pet safety cat and teaches pet first aid. Mikey loves to lounge on the couch and purr in your lap. And one-eyed Morty, he's just a purr machine. Now, you know what I don't love? Cleaning up the litter for Casey, Mikey, and Morty, which is why Arm & Hammer created new cloud control litter. There's no cloud of nasties now when I scoop. It's 100% dust-free. It's free of heavy perfumes, and it reduces airborne dander from scooping. Yahoo! So, what happens in the litter box stays in the litter box. New cloud control cat litter by Arm & Hammer. More power to you.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Oh Behave is back with more tail-wagging ways to achieve harmony in the household with your pets. Now back to your fetching host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Now, listeners, you're in for a treat. Treat! Did somebody say treat? I'm betting right now, all of your dogs and cats with their stellar hearing are perking up their ears to tune in, and it's with good reason. Our guest today, Jill Weisfeld, is an award-winning author. Hey, she's a CEO of her own publishing company called Peek-A-Bear Press, and let's throw some more stuff in. She is the art director of the Pediatric Cancer Foundation. She teams up with her lovable retriever named Riley, and they make therapy pet visits, and they encourage children to read at libraries. Plus, she has playfully inserted a new word into our vocabulary. Move over, Google. What do we have now, Jill?
Google. Google
Yay!
for dogs.
That's right. Is it Coodle for cats or? Oh,
I don't know.
Hard.
I haven't written that one yet, but I like that. Google.
Yeah. We're starting a trend here.
Yeah,
Hey,
I like that.
I'm really happy to have you on the show, Jill. Folks, from one author to another, we also share kind of parallel lives a little bit. Jill and I both have pets that are certified therapy pets. And believe it or not, you and I both have the same favorite childhood book. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Go, dog, go.
My favorite. Actually, my birthday's actually tomorrow, and I just told my daughter, I know Go Dog Go is P.D. Eastman, but I just said, buy me the new book about Dr. Seuss. So, like all those books I love. So that's my birthday present.
Well, and we hope you have a good birthday today as a guest on our show.
Thank you.
Our gift to you is priceless. You can't buy
It
it
is
at the
priceless.
store. You get to be a guest on our show.
Yeah,
Which,
I'm
by the
so
way,
happy.
somebody named Oprah likes us and voted us as
Oh,
our top 3 pet podcast on the planet. So,
I've heard of her, and
yeah,
I
I've
think
heard
she
her
has.
too. She has
Yeah,
dogs.
I think she has. Riley's actually called an English cream retriever, and I think she has a couple of those.
What kind of breed? English what?
An English cream retriever, and I'm pretty sure Oprah has some. I've seen them, like in pictures with her.
All right. Well, let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit about, because, Riley is the star of your book. So
Yeah.
tell us, what's the 411 on your beautiful dog, Riley?
So Riley, I got when she was about 4 years old. I always wanted to have a therapy dog, and she was a very stubborn puppy. It took me a long time to train her, and at one point I thought, I'm just going to leave her at the breeder, the person who was boarding her, because she was so tough. She was like Marley and me. She ate everything in the house. She ate hair scrunchies. She ate chicken skewers. She ate a diamond earring. It was like stuck in her tooth like a grill. And then we saw Marley and me in the movie, and the kid's like, we can't give her away, which I would never do, obviously.
Right.
And then I just really was very persistent on the training. I think are you a dog trainer as well? You do.
Well, I'm more of a
things.
behaviorist. I wrote the dog
Yeah.
behavior answer, so yeah, I gotcha.
And then she just became this amazing dog after a year. And so me and my 2 daughters took her to the Good Dog Foundation, where she's certified. And she became, you have to go to school. So it's, first you have to know basic commands: sit, stay, come.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's 4 classes plus a graduation at therapy dog school. And it was really fun. That's actually my second book, Riley the Retriever Goes to School.
Right.
And then she graduates, and at the class, like, they would bring in a wheelchair and a walker, and just to make sure she didn't, wasn't like afraid of any of these objects, which she wasn't. She didn't even notice. And so then she just started working at like the library down the street, which was her first job. We still go. It's like we love the librarian there, and she loves the kids, and they all, know her when they come. And she just loves everything she does. She works. My dad has dementia, and he moved into assisted living 2 years ago, and she goes there all the time with me, and all the people love her there. One man, Rudy, he always tells me that he really loves animals more than people, and Riley had ACL surgery a few months ago, and before Riley went in, he says, I'm going to pray for Riley's recovery. Like, she just really touches so many people's lives and makes so many people happy.
Well, it all brings back, with the apologies and homage to the late, great Marley of Marley and Me. I actually knew the real Marley because I was a reporter at the Sun Sentinel in Fort Lauderdale.
Really?
And,
that's cool.
John Grogan and I had a desk within probably 10 feet of each other. And I remember when years ago they brought home, he and Jenny, this puppy, this box-headed, fast-growing yellow lab.
Yeah.
And, but if you were in the newspaper world, when it was real news, you worked long hours. And in Florida, lightning comes straight down. So this poor dog was at home a lot and scared of lightning and had separation anxiety. It was just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
But I'm
Riley's
happy to say with Riley and Marley, if you get through that first year of puppy, I call it the wonder year because you wonder where your sanity goes. You might have a pretty cool pup dog, and it sounds like Riley is just that. And so how old is Riley now?
She just turned 11 in January. So.
Wow, good.
Yeah, I'm like she's a senior. So
yeah. No, it is. And every day we have with them is a gift. I have a retired surf dog named Cleo. I used to live in California, and Cleo is a little 12-pound soaking wet terrier mix, and she's 17.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, so sometimes she has good days, and other days she's like, huh? What?
I can relate.
But let's talk a little bit. I mean, you're combining, it seems like, 2 loves, a love of pets and dogs and a love of writing. So give us a little, you have your own publishing company, Miss CEO, Peak a Bear Press. Tell us about that.
So I'm actually a graphic designer. I went to school. I worked in advertising. I worked in House at Macy's and Brides Magazine. So I was actually trained more in the visual side, the designer side. But I always wanted to write a children's book. That's always been like, my dream. And I've always, whenever I'm like walking down the street or I see something, I get an idea for a children's book, and I have a whole notebook of ideas. And I'm always like writing books and reading it to my family. And so finally I wrote, my first book is titled Take a Peek with Peek-a-Bear. And that's like, I call it a peek and play book. It's for preschool age children. And I decided to self-published because I really, being a graphic designer, I really wanted the control of the whole look of the book and being able to hire my own illustrator. And I designed the book myself. And so I just wanted that creative freedom. And my husband helped me because he's a manufacturer, so he helped me find a printer in China and this really lovely woman, Anita. And so everything was done through email, and I found, for the first book, I found my illustrator who lived in Scotland, and, and they say, yeah,
I feel like I got to pour
wonderful.
some international flavor coffee into my drink listening to you.
Yeah, and then for the second book, the illustrator, Shirley Ann Benitez, is wonderful. She lives in California, and I found her through Instagram. I was having a really hard time finding someone who I wanted to really I didn't realize how hard it would be to capture Riley's personality. So every time I found an illustrator, I'd have them draw a picture of Riley, and they just couldn't capture it. And then Shirley captured it right away, and she was amazing. And so that's basically my journey. So I'm really more of a conceptual type of writer. I'm not like my grammar is not, I'm not great with grammar or anything. Like when I wrote both books, all my friends who I know are really great with grammar, I had them help me edit it. And then I had my mom join in on Riley the Retriever because she's also a writer. Mm-hmm. And so when I came up with the idea, I think I was working with Riley one day. And I love, as you do, working dogs. I just think they're such special animals, and they offer such an amazing service to people, whether they are seizure detectors or guide dogs or bomb-sniffing dogs, anything. They just really, they're like selfless animals, and they help us. And I wanted to educate children about them. So just the idea popped in my head about Riley educating kids about working dog jobs and also looking for a new job herself, which I don't know if I should say what she ended up becoming at the end. Should I say it? Spoiler alert.
Go ahead.
I don't think any kids, maybe, their parents will be listening. Don't tell your kids.
Well, it's not like you're revealing the
Yeah, so she becomes she becomes a therapy dog, and my mom helped me write it. So basically, I did all the research, and I wrote like a rough copy of the book, and then my mom lives in Philly. I live in New York. I again emailed it to her. She took it, she wrote it, and helped me get it more into a story form. But my mom's more formal, her writing, not how Riley would be speaking. So then I put it in Riley's words. And it was just a really fun collaboration. And,
well, it takes a village. And I've got to tell you guys, I've written a number of books, and writing tight and writing just short sentences like Ernest Hemingway style instead of F. Scott Fitzgerald with all the flowery. That's hard to do, isn't it? And you got to write to kids. So
it's really hard.
So I will say, go Jill, go, like go dog, go.
Yeah, I want to do like a little Instagram with Riley with the whole "Do you like my hat?" thing. Sketch.
Yeah, and speaking of Instagram, I do want to shout out his Instagram account is Working Dog Tales, TALES. Yeah. How's that? Yeah. Did I do my homework?
Yes, a she. She's a girl though. Sorry. But most people think she's a boy. I always say she's a girl, but she's not a lady. She's.
Oh, well, I have a orange tabby named Casey, and everybody wants to call him a boy, and I always just say Case he. And then,
oh, that's cute.
And then we have Kona, my terrier mix. Kona and Casey are like Riley. They're certified therapy pets, and Kona actually means lady in Hawaiian.
Oh.
So that makes it easy, or I just tell the people, just check under the hood. She's a chick.
I love that you have a therapy cat. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I have rescue cats, and they're crazy.
Yeah, let's do a shout out to your two tabbies. Who do you have? Because I know Riley's the star.
Yeah, so I had 3 cats at one point. I felt like, like the crazy cat lady. They're all rescued, and then I found one of my. So I had Tallulah, who was not mentioned in the book because she had already passed away. And then I had Corey, who's an orange tabby, like Casey, who was the sweetest cat in the world. And then I found my 3rd cat as a kitten at my friend's house. We were having dinner in their backyard, and I heard her crying. I didn't want a 3rd cat, but I tried to give her away. And 7 years later, I haven't found a home for her. So she's now mine. I always tell her, you're just a foster pet. But
and what's her name?
Her name is Pippa, because she's a pipsqueak. She's crazy. She's like, my kids have not touched her in 7 years. She only lets me touch her.
Does she get along with Corey okay? And Riley?
Well, so Corey also passed away, but he was like 10. And she got along with the cats. She loved them. Riley and Pippa get along. Like the first 2 cats are really afraid of Riley because they were in the house first. So I had to train Riley to leave as a puppy, she chased them all over the house. So I trained her to be respectful of the cats, and she was very respectful. And the cat, actually, Tallulah, like really dominated her. She would lie in the middle of the stairwell and not let Riley upstairs. And Riley would sit at the bottom of the stairwell crying. And I'm like, Riley, you're like 3 times as big as Tallulah. Just walk by her. Yeah. But she was too afraid of Tallulah. But Pippa is really a brat. I call her a bratty cat. Like Riley would be lying there minding her own business, and Pippa walks over to Riley, starts sniffing her nose, and Riley knows it's about to happen, and then she takes her paw and smacks her across the nose and walks away. So
Kitty
Riley
love.
Riley just like, okay, what did I do now? Like she's just sitting there minding her own business.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what makes a good therapy pet, because not every dog or even cat or bunny rabbit or horse is made to be. And I, like you, Casey and Kona, had to go through training and all that. They have to not be crazy if somebody, we go to a memory care center. We call it going to see the Brookdale buddies. And we got to get used to if there's a wheelchair or somebody drops something or they pat the cat or dog on the head a little bit rough, but not meaning to. So tell us the role that you think that Riley does best as a therapy dog.
I think she's just really chill, and she also loves the people. Like when I take her to schools, like she works in, I go once a week to a first grade classroom where children take turns reading to her, and she loves the attention. She loves the children. We come into the classroom, all the kids are like, Riley, and she's very tolerant, and sometimes they smother her and they're hanging on her, and she just gets up and moves away. Like, she would never growl. She would never bare her teeth. She just moves out of the way, and I'm like, you know what, Riley needs her space. And the kids start trying to poke her in the eye. I'm like, guys, you don't want someone to poke you in the eye. Like, please pet her behind the ear. Right. She's getting nervous when your fingers are right in front of her eyeballs. And she just is so good-hearted. And she, listens to them read. Like, she enjoys it. She lies on their book. She wants a belly rub. And, the same with when she goes to colleges during exam week. And the students are taking a break from the exams. And they come in and pet her. And she just is so happy for the attention and she's social. She loves people. She loves children. She loves, she goes to a memory care unit too, where my dad is. She loves elderly people, especially after snack time, because they drop all their crumbs all over the floor, and she's like the vacuum cleaner. She's, golden retrievers. They're like chow hounds. Yep. Yeah, they just have to have that really sweet temperament and very patient. I think they do successful.
They have to know their basic commands, and you do, if there's a pill on the ground, they do need to master the art of leave it, right? Then
exactly.
But what is the group that she's certified through? What is it called?
The Good Dog Foundation, and they're based in New York, and they do jobs all throughout New York. Some in Connecticut, but mostly in the New York area. In the suburbs, outside of New York City, and the boroughs as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, hey, folks, we're speaking to author Jill Weisfeld. She wrote a book, more than one, but the latest one is called Riley, the Retriever Wants a New Job. And we're going to learn more about her and Riley after we take this quick commercial break. So sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a walk on the red carpet, of course. All Behave will be back in a flash right after these messages.
Paws up, everybody. This is your host, Arden Moore, and guess what? I wear different collars in the pet world. I am also a master instructor in pet first aid and CPR, and I have some great news for all you. Safety is one of the best skills you can learn for pets that you have and those that you care for from other people. That's why I'm excited to let you know we now have a 2-day online interactive pet first aid instructor program. Yep, I have teamed up with Pro Pet Hero, and I am your instructor. We use Zoom technology, which is great, so you can be wherever you are in North America. I can tap into you, and we have a class of up to 6 people at a time for 2 days, and we teach you all the veterinary-approved hands-on skills to become a pet first aid and CPR instructor. To learn more, please go to propethero.com. This is your chance to be your pet's best health ally.
Let's Talk Pets.
Let's Talk Pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, I'm Dean Koontz, and you're listening to Oh Behave with Arden Moore on Pet Life Radio.
We're back from the lot. Just checked the paper and we had a record showing at the box. The letterbox, that is. Now back to Oh Behave. Here's Arden.
Welcome back to the O Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. I'm having a fun time with Jill Weisfeld. Yep, you got to get your paws on Riley the Retriever Wants a New Job. It's a new children's book, and it's based on the adventures of her dog, Riley. Real story, who finds her true calling, which is to be a certified therapy dog. And you do a lot of giving back, you and Riley, Jill. But I was kind of curious a little bit about the job that you get a W-2 for. You're an art director. Tell us a little bit at the Pediatric Cancer Foundation.
Oh, yeah. So that's also volunteer. And so that's a local grassroots charity and just something I've been involved with for the past, I think, 20 years. Mm-hmm. And just being a graphic designer, I moved here. My friend was involved with the charity, and she asked me to design an invitation for one of their events. And then I just continued doing a lot of designing different invitations, and I helped them design the website and their brochure, and then that led to, they had a bike-a-thon that I was co-chair of, and it's, it's a really wonderful organization, and, I love children as well as dogs, so anything to help children, I'm so happy to be a part of.
And you do have not one, not two, but three kids, right?
Three daughters.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Three daughters, one dog and one cat now?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, all
right.
girls. My husband's. we had Corey was my male cat, but sadly he used to watch the Mets game with us. That was like the best summer.
Oh.
Every time the baseball game was on, we'd call Corey and he'd come running down and sit on the chair and watch the game with us. When the one summer the Mets were actually winning.
All right. Well, I'm from Chicago, so I had many drought years as a Chicago.
Yeah.
So we both understand that. So tell us a little bit, though, about your first book, children's book. It's called Take a Peek with Peek-a-Bear, because you won 5 different awards. I mean, this is a big deal. And tell us a little bit about what inspired you. What's this book about?
So this book is about a little bear named Peek-a-Bear who's taking children on a journey in different modes of transportation, such as there's a train, there's a car, a plane. And during the journey, it rhymes. Like the first page, I'll read, take a peek out the window while you're driving down the street. What do you see marching by with big clunky feet? And the book has poles, lifts, and wheels. And so you pull down the window like you would roll down a window in a car, and outside you see an elephant marching by in a parade.
Oh, you're kidding. That's
so
cool.
So it's like a very whimsical, fun book that's interactive, and the illustration are really colorful and playful, and it's just a lot of fun. Like in the train page, it's like you open up actual curtains like you would be in a train. So it's basically the child is sitting inside the locomotive or whatever they are, and they're looking out the window and they're seeing just really cool, whimsical illustrations and that are very silly, and it makes them laugh and everything. And that was a tough book to produce because it is a peek and play book, so it does have all these moving parts. So that was a lot of back and forth of samples from China with, to get the poles right and the wheel right at the end and the curtains right so the kids didn't rip it off, which eventually they will, but then they have to buy new books. I guess that's not a bad thing.
Take that, the late, great Dr. Seuss, because his books had great rhymes, but he didn't have things flying off the pages. You were actually constructing like a little mini house with each page. It's a lot of fun, but it was a tough book to publish. That was especially for my first book to publish. Well, but you did well. So what was one of the top honors you got? I think it's called the Mom's Choice Award in the children's picture books.
Mm-hmm. And also the Purple Dragonfly Awards and I think all different various awards.
Any cars or new houses for
No.
Oh, dang it.
No. Just the honor of winning.
Just tax-free love.
It was very exciting. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. I was very, very proud that I won all these honors for the book.
So what happens when you come into these places? Do you bring Riley the Retriever Wants a New Job book for kids and all that? What's been the impact when you come in with Riley? And she is sort of a 4-legged author with you because she's the star of the book.
Well, it's funny because the first grade classroom that I go to, I donated the book to the classroom, and one little girl, Ava, keeps saying to me, I don't know if I should say the name, but anyway, she keeps saying, when are you going to write the second book? When are you going to write the second book? And, they are like really thrilled that they know Riley, who's this famous dog. And so I wrote the second book very roughly, just the beginning, and I brought it in and I read it to them. Like, oh, we want to be your editors and your publisher. I'm like, oh, I would love to have you guys help me. And then I had an event recently at FAO Schwartz in Manhattan and with Riley, and that was actually a lot of fun. And
what were you guys doing there? That's a great store.
Yeah, it was. We were selling the book, doing a book signing, and I was just with Riley selling the book, and all these, families came and kids, and the first little girl who bought the book with her parents is actually from Russia. She doesn't even speak English, and she, they, reached out to me on Instagram how much they loved it. Then another family bought the book from London. They were on vacation in New York without their kids, and then she sent me pictures of her son, which is actually posted on my Instagram, reading it and how much he loved it. So it makes me feel so good when, like I say, in touch with the people who bought the book, and they're so thrilled how much they like the book, and they're really happy when they meet the dog who's the star of the book.
Oh, yeah.
She's definitely an attraction, more than me.
No, I wouldn't say that. But I think some of the takeaways from having you on the show today, one, you get things done. And being a graphic designer is a special skill I always have envy for. But you didn't. I mean, is there any advice you can give folks to not give up? Because you're publishing your books, and they're very well done and very well illustrated. And so, I mean, you're dealing with China and all these other countries and time zones. And how do you keep your sanity, and how do you keep on track?
I think, sometimes you want to give up like this. I mean, sadly, when I wrote the book with my mom, she passed away 2 years ago before I had the book in print. So I just sort of left it alone for a while, and I didn't think I was going to be able to pick it up again. And then I'm like, you know what? My mom would be really mad if I didn't finish this book. And I have 3 daughters. So you want to show them that, teach them the value of following through with your ideas and believing in yourself. And I don't know, I love what I write. I love the story about Riley. I love about working dogs, and I just really felt it was an important story to get out there for children. And I think you just have to, believe in yourself, and just every day I always did something just to work on it, and just kept following through. And then once it becomes into print, it's just such a great feeling to see all your hard work. So,
yeah, and you also recognized where your strengths are, and you recruited others that could give you good feedback, right?
Yes. Absolutely. It does. Like I think you said before, it takes a village, and it does take a village. I've had a lot of really nice friends who've helped me, as I said, edit the book. My friend now is helping me market the book, and she got me the event at FAO Schwartz, which I might not have had enough confidence to reach out to FAO Schwartz, and she did. And I have another event coming up in the summer at Books of Wonder, which is a really well-known bookstore in Manhattan. So yeah, it's really nice. My family all persevere listening to me read it to them over and over again and changing this word and that word. And, so everybody's been really amazing and helping.
Well, most importantly, what does she think about the book?
She loves the book. She can't wait, she says, until I write the next one. So I wish she could talk. She'd be great on the radio show.
I can hear her. I have.
Yeah.
I can hear her. Well, yeah. I agree with you. Then the other part is just the aspect of having a dog like Riley as a therapy dog. And with Kona and Casey, my dog and cat, they not only are therapy dogs and cats, but they're also help me teach pet first aid. So they've already been to 12 states, and we certify people in pet first aid. We do first responders, and we do pet sitters and boarding staffs. And I'm like you, there are a couple of shelter alums in my case, and you never know what hidden talent your dog or cat may have. And it sounds like with Riley, her talent is she's just an amazing canine ambassador of goodness.
Yeah, she is. She's a sweetheart. She's stubborn, but she is a sweetheart.
And right. And you survived the first year, so I do salute you for that.
Yes, that was a tough year, but I'm so glad I persevered, because she's every day, like I wake up and she's like my therapy dog.
There you go.
She makes me so happy too.
Hey, folks, we're speaking with Jill Weisfeld, and she is the author of the book you've got to get your paws on. It's called Riley the Retriever Wants a New Job. I hope after the show that you all dash over to Riley's Instagram account. It's Working Dog Tales, Tales, and go to peakabear.com, and that's peak-a-bear.com, and you're going to find out a lot more about Jill and Riley and what's going on. Is there any parting message you want to give to our listeners? We have several 100,000 from all over. I bet there's probably the person in the China publishing house's production is probably even tuning in. Who knows?
Well, one thing I do want to mention is proceeds of the book are being donated to dog charities, and one of them is Guiding Eyes for the Blind, which is a local guide dog organization in upstate New York, right where I live, and I've also fostered socialized guide dog puppies. So I'm very into giving back to the community.
Say the name of the charity again.
Guiding Eyes for the Blind in Yorktown, New York.
In Yorktown, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, so all about helping others.
All right. And we're going to give a sweet in the heavens to your mother, Deborah. I think that's nice that she helped you, and this was definitely a family love collaboration. Do your 3 daughters have the writing bug?
I don't know. We shall see. Right now they don't, but my youngest daughter is going to be studying to be an elementary school teacher. So maybe she'll turn that into something with writing. We'll see. She already said she wants to help me write the second book.
All right. Well, when you get it, let us know. We'll have you back on. And I'm so glad to get to meet you, at least over the airways, Jill. You're doing great work.
Thank you. And I would love to learn the CPR if you're ever in New York.
Oh, yeah. And we make it fun because I'm sort of a goofball with a purpose. So everything we teach is veterinary approved. But I tell people when you're doing chest compressions, the hand that does the pump is closest to the rump.
Okay.
And the palm is the pump.
I can remember that. Okay.
Yeah, so I do little ditties like that in my classes because I figured if you make people remember something easy to rhyme and you don't scare the bejeebers out of them when you're teaching a class, they learn better, don't you think?
Yeah, 100%. You remember a rhyme.
Yeah, and I have to warn you too that Casey, the orange tabby, will do something silly in class. Like he does a head dive in my pet first aid kit and throws things out of the bag so he can retrieve the bag of treats. Yeah.
He sounds great.
He sounds great. And Kona, the sweet dog, is like, I didn't do that. It's my brother from a different mother.
Yeah. Casey probably blames Kona. It wasn't me. It was Kona.
Yeah. All right. Well, give Riley a sweet hug from us and healthy treat, Jill. And everybody, please check out the book. It's called Riley the Retriever Wants a New Job. Go over to peakabear.com. It's on Amazon. Proceeds are going to great charities like Guiding Eyes for the Blind in Yorktown, New York. And we're going to look forward to the next adventure of Riley and have Jill back on. So, Jill, thank you again for being our special guest.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
All right. And at this time, I want to give a big old pause and applause to our producer, Mark Winter. He is the wizard of paws. He's the executive director of Pet Life Radio. We are the #1 listened to pet radio network on the planet. That's pretty dang good. And so, folks, I want you to, if you want to check me out on Instagram, it's Arden Knows Pets, and go over to ardenmore.com and see what crazy adventures await Kona, Casey, and myself. So until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, just delivering 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. Oh Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.